Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando. And I just wanted to do a video going into the overall reason when it comes to the international bankers, the Job 924s, what it boils down to when it comes to the MOTB, all right, because as has been said and broken down time in and time out, it goes far deeper and is far more sinister than just buying and selling, all right. And as far-fetched as it may sound, ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai allowed Esau to get to a point as far as his technological advancements to fulfill prophecy. All right. And mainly the MOTB, and as Apostle Tahar says, it's really the Most High's hip. All right. But nevertheless, Esau is a weapon on the left hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because again, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he wants to see, well, what it boils down to is who do we pledge our allegiance to? All right, that's what it overall boils down to. All right, and being that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he created Esau. And with that being said, the sinister spirit that's in Esau, all right, the deranged madman spirit in Esau, all right, because what does he want to do? He wants to be like the Most High. All right, these international bankers, as the scriptures say, the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, going into the Lord's angels. Well, how does Esau mimic that godlike power? Well, this is why he has cameras everywhere. All right, so it goes back to Esau and his godlike complex. You see, he wants to be like the Most High, and as I said, it's deeper and it's more sinister than just buying and selling. So what is Esau trying to accomplish when it comes to the MOTB, the Revelation 13, 16 to 17, the C-hip, which is an insertable device that will be implanted under the skin? What is he trying to accomplish? Well, ultimately it boils down to control, and setting himself up as the Most High. You see, and as I said, overall, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai wants to see where our allegiance, who do we all pledge our allegiance to? Where does our allegiance lie to? Does it lie with him, or is it going to lie with Esau, Edom? All right, because when you take that MOTB, or for those that take the MOTB, you full-fledged allegiance to the international bankers. All right, you see, as it tells you in Ezekiel 18:4, all souls belong to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. But when you take that MOTB, you're for those that take that MOTB, you're basically saying to hell with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. My allegiance is to the international bankers. That's pretty much what you're saying. All right. And that will be the ultimate form of selling your soul. You see, and that is the international bankers, their way of ransacking the temple, as has been done twice before in the past. All right. And being that, everything is spiritual, we're not, it's not a thing of because right now the third temple is being built, but it's not a physical temple. Again, it's spiritual. And as before, how is Esau going to try to ransack the temple again? Is going to come by way of that MOTB. All right, because we are the Lord's temple. But nevertheless, as much as the devil, as Esau is, there are certain laws that Esau keeps, according to the scriptures. And this is one of them, as I'm going to get here in Exodus 21. And I'm going to jump down straight to the point at verse 6. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost. And his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So when you read the verses above, it just goes into because you see Esau, he doesn't want to keep when it comes to the first 5 verses, Esau doesn't want to deal with that part, because Esau, he's not good to himself. You see, but when it comes to a Hebrew Israelite being in servitude to another Hebrew Israelite, all right, we're not supposed to just deal with one another with rigor. All right, we're not supposed to deal with one another harshly. There are ways we ought to conduct ourselves. And in an appointed time, again, when a Hebrew Israelite came in servitude to another Hebrew Israelite, again, when you read the first 5 verses, goes into it. All right. And there's an appointed time to when that Hebrew Israelite servant is freed from the Hebrew Israelite master. All right. Now, if that Hebrew Israelite came in with himself, then, if he came by himself, then at that appointed time, he will leave by himself. If he came with a wife and children, then at that appointed time, he would leave with his wife and children. But if he came by himself and pretty much he was given a wife, and from there, children, technically, though, that wife and those children, they belong to the Hebrew Israelite master. All right. And if that Hebrew Israelite servant didn't, in fact, want to leave, all right, if he wanted to stay, all right, well, that's why I read verse 6. It said, again, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost. And his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. Basically showing ownership, all right, that this particular such and such belong to this particular such and such. All right. And like I said, Esau, he doesn't want to deal with the first 5 verses, because like I said, there are certain laws that Esau keeps, such as verse 6, dealing with this awl. All right. It goes into a piercing. All right. You see, and again, when it comes down to the MOTB, that's what it boils down to. All right. Again, basically saying to hell with Yahweh Bashem Shai and Esau, the international bankers are my master. All right. Because that's what all the MOTB is a digital O that will be implanted under the skin. All right. Real quick. Isaiah 28. Isaiah 28 and verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. So you see, because being that in particular 2/3 of our people, they trust man rather than Yahweh Bashem Shai. So with that being said, they're going to make this covenant. All right. And when you go into this covenant, it goes into a cutting in the flesh. All right. Because 2/3 of our people, they're already sold out. All right. They're already, given over. So to say, the cherry on top is just going to be the MOTB. All right. That's just going to be the cherry on top. But they're already given over. All right. In fact, when you go to real quick, St. John 6 and 66, pretty much going into the spirit, that's already on 2/3 of our people. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. St. John 6 and 66. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. So you see, pretty much that spirit of Antichrist, the anti-Messiah. All right. Which is no coincidence. All right. Because as I just read St. John 6 and 66. All right. And 2/3, that's over half of the nation of Israel. All right. In fact, it's exactly 66.6%. All right. Which again, the spirit, that's the spirit that's on Esau, or excuse me, that's the spirit that's on Jake, 2/3 of our people. All right. They're already given over. There are, sellouts. All right. And again, the ultimate form of what they call Selling your soul to the devil is going to come in the form of that cutting of the flesh. All right. Should be in the form of that MOTB. Back in Isaiah 28:15, because ye have said, we have made our covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing score shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. So you see, because Esau, he's going to, well, he promises, you know, well, it's false promises. All right. You know, because the scripture said that in the end, you know, he's going to show himself to be who he is, the devil. You know, and scripture say, who shall pity a charmer when he's bitten? Roughly paraphrasing, you see, because you might get away with for a time period or a time being when you take that, when for people that take that MOTB, you might get away. You might be able to escape Esau's judgment for a period, you know, a certain time period, but ultimately you won't escape Yahweh Bashar Shah's judgments. That's why when you read on, therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. And, you know, the scriptures talk about waiting on the Lord's salvation, patiently waiting on the Lord's salvation. All right. As it tells you in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, you know, not making haste, you know, when, you know, being changed to a low state. These are all things that we're, Lord willing, aware of that number. We're learning. The Lord is teaching us, because when the more and more, you know, situations get more dire and desperate, people are going to make all type of irrational decisions based off of their emotions and not out of logic. All right. Versus we're being taught to think logically and rationally and not emotionally. All right. So when the time comes and, you know, when this new way of buying and selling, when this new system is up and running, all right, and in order to partake, in order to buy and sell, in order to eat, all right, you know, when these resources are stripped, and basically in order for you to get them back, all right, you're going to have that MOTB. This is why you have all these sellouts amongst our people, such as the LeBron Jameses and the Jay-Z's and them. All right. You know, as the Apostle Tar, again, to quote, has said in the past, the time's going to come when they're going to have to cash out. All right. Or cash in, rather, you know, because the time's going to come. We're going to see them promoting the MOTB. All right. Them themselves, if they want to continue to get those goodies, they're going to have to take that MOTB. All right. Because, again, they made a covenant with death. All right. They made this covenant with Esau, and Esau, he's made false promises, promising them, you know, basically a safe passage. All right. When Esau drops the hammer, when the devil comes down with that great wrath, that's why you hear guys like Rick Ross talking about building bunkers and stuff like that, you know. But little did these people know, because when you read on, it says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing score shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. You see, because, being that we're the Lord's husband, slip of the tongue, being that the Lord is our husband, all right, when you go to Numbers 30 in verse 3, if a woman also vow a vow unto Yahweh, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she hath bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. Which goes to show you the power that the men have over the women. All right. Because a woman, she's in subjection to either her father or her husband. All right. And either way, if a woman, if she's making a vow and the father or the husband just so happens to overhear that vow, and if it lines up according to, if it's not some folly, All right. If the father of the husband is with it, then hey, Yahweh Bashmal Shai will grant that vow. All right. Again, going to show you the power of the husband has over the wife, the man has over the woman. But reading on in verse 4 or verse 5. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows. Yeah, but if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows, or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand, and Yahweh shall forgive her because her father disallowed her vow. So on the flip side of that, again, if the father or the husband just so happens to hear the vow and it's some folly, all right, because, women are simple, as it tells you in Proverbs 9. All right. you know, women, they're simple and they're deprived of wisdom. All right. And most of the time, that's going to be the case. A woman, she's going to be just talking out her ass for the most part, talking out of emotion. Lord, please, don't let I want to be the only one, because Esau gives a license to sin. All right. Which are privileges, and I always say, rights come from Yahweh Shemal Shai. Man can only give you privileges. It's like a driver's license. Driver's license, that's a privilege. It can be taken away. All right. But Yahweh Shemal Shai, rights come from Yahweh Shemal Shai. And it's a God-given right for a man to have multiple women. All right. And, your woman, she might be, Lord, please don't let him see any other. Don't let my husband have eyes for any other woman. And again, if they're dealing with the husband, if he just so happens to hear that, man, hey, the husband has the right to, nah, man, the hell with that, and the Lord's going to honor that, whatever it may be. All right. So I just mentioned that just to mention again, because again, the fact that 2/3 of our people, the fact that they're making, vows with Esau and Edom. All right. The Lord's going to disannul that vow because, again, the Lord is our husband. All right. And the Lord has that right to step in and intervene and say, All right. I'm sorry. Going back to Isaiah 28 and 18 again. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. So the Lord's going to ultimately disannul that vow. All right. That 2/3 of our people make, that the covenant that 2/3 of our people make with, Esau. All right. The Lord's going